So have you ever woken up at a ridiculous hour in the morning and found yourself wide awake, unable to go back to sleep? It happens with me a lot. If this ever does happen with you, this is a really good sign and chance to have an out-of-body experience if you want one. You know, I had gone to bed around 10, 11 o'clock and just, 2:30 in the morning, I just wake up in the physical, here in my room. I'm just wide awake, can't get back to sleep. I generally set an alarm for 4 and a secondary timer for 6 because I have a care client here that needs seeing too. And the 4 o'clock alarm goes off and I'm still wide awake. No need to get up or nothing that needs to be done at this time. So I set my secondary timer and I decide I'm just going to do a counting down with the breath. And why I chose to do this particular technique, I don't know, because it's not one that I normally do, but it is one that my previous teacher, a friend of mine, Eric, teaches. And this is interesting because last night, yesterday morning, just before I was about to wake up, I ran into Eric. And the meeting between us there was just really brief. He simply walks up to me and says, "I'll see you tomorrow," right? And I just look at him and I nod and I agree. I say, "Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow." And then I woke up shortly after, remembering that I had just bumped into Eric and that we had this brief conversation. And these never happen without them actually taking place. It's generally my dad that I'm told I'm going to meet the next day, but this time it was Eric. And that just sort of enthralled me all day long. I was wondering if this was actually going to be another meeting that I was actually going to have in an out-of-body state that I was told about in advance, and what in the world the meeting could be about, about seeing him the next night. And I'm still integrating all of this. It just happened. But anyway, at 4 a.m. I start doing this breathing technique, counting down from 100. I get to, somewhere in the 60s, and I can feel myself sinking in now. That slight levitating feeling that begins to happen when you're conscious, and the conscious awareness is shifting over into the astral, or, when the beta brainwave reconfigures into a primarily alpha or primarily theta wave, and I'm realizing that I'm going out of body, but I'm realizing it and then losing it, and that this happens a couple times until all of a sudden I realize that my laptop is sitting in front of me open. The light's emanating off of it toward me, and I realize, I'm laying here on this practice space facing the wall, and, just slowly starting to realize my laptop couldn't really be here, and so I start to realize I'm having an out-of-body again. And this is when I see my etheric hand reach out and start typing letters onto the computer. It types S, T, A, R, and I'm trying to come up with a word at this time. I'm like, starlight, and it types T, start. And I realize the event is about ready to begin. Everything goes slowly to black here as I shift. These are the shifts this night. It's just a slowly fade to black. But I'm in the black for a while, long enough to lose a degree of consciousness. So the next time I come to be aware, I'm in the black, hearing a song played really loud, like it's being played right here in the room with me. And it's the song More Than a Feeling by Boston. And I mean, it's blaring. You know, like people my age back in the day would have played it like super loud. And I realize I'm out of body, but you know, the thought running through my mind is, where the hell am I? These people are playing their music so loud. And as soon as I say this, again, I'm allowed to hear this song for a little bit, but then fade to black as I shift. And then and I have to say here that I did not bring the entirety of this event back with me, but the following is what I did bring back, and it happened in no particular order. But I will start with the visual that I begin seeing. I'm in a house of some sort, walking into a room where in front of me in the room is a man. A sort of funny, awkward-looking young man. It's a white man with black hair, and like I say, it's just sort of funny-looking. And he's talking to me, and I'm getting information on two levels. You could say something, or I could say something like the person that's actually talking could represent a physical conversation that this person was actually having with me, and the information that I'm asking for is coming to me, you know, from an astral perspective. So this is sort of interesting, and he's you know, saying something about he wasn't sure he could go on without me. Long story short, this is my husband in a previous lifetime. I had just given birth to our twins. It was a challenging delivery. They thought they were going to lose me, but I made it. The twins didn't. And this is all information that I'm asking for throughout this entire event. I'm consciously present in a way that I'm not normally. It's there's this very deep, humble, quietly emotional feeling of wanting to know these people. I'm asking everyone that I come across in this experience their name. I'm going for data about what our relationship is and what's happening in our life currently as I'm coming into contact with them here in these experiences. I'm in a very strong presence of mind and curiosity and wanting to know. And just the feeling, this undercurrent of feeling that's present through this experience is very different. Again, it just sort of humble, which is a humbly emotional, a lot of feeling. And that's new for me. In life and in my OBEs, actually. It happens, it just doesn't happen a lot. Anyway, from here I shift again. Everything fades slowly to black. It fades actually through a brown shade, you know, not totally into black. It ends up somewhere in a brown shade. But when the lights come back on again, I'm in the same structure, but I'm walking down a hall and see another room, and in the room is a bed with just sort of a jumbled mess of gray sheets and blankets and what looks to me like a gray shaggy dog, you know, like the backside of a gray shaggy dog. And as I peek my head in and asking who this is, a young, attractive man gets out of the bed, and I walk into the room and I ask him his name. Again, I wanted to know everybody's name. and what the relationship I have with them is. I know that these are people that I know from other lifetimes. Anyway, he tells me his name. I come back with his name. His name's Hans, or something like this. That's what I heard. I just start talking with him, and then while I'm talking with him, like right in the beginning, a young, really pretty woman walks into the room and sort of interrupts the conversation. There's some interaction with her. I'm asking her name and how we know each other. And I've crossed a line now. I see that in OBEs, like if I ask something that actually interrupts the consciousness of these individuals, I'll be removed from the scene. But if I can ask things that don't seem so out of place, then I'm sort of allowed to stay longer. Anyway, I can feel myself being removed from this one. I've crossed a line and they can't figure out why I don't know what I'm asking. And so I shift again. Everything fades to black. And now the next time that fades to that deep brown, and now golden light starts coming in, and the visual landscape I begin seeing, and I'm sitting in a little tiny apartment, a little tiny one-bedroom apartment, at this card table-like dining room space where they eat, just off of a very small kitchen. And I'm integrating all of the information that I've been given this far, and there's this feeling, this just very visceral feeling through my whole body, my whole being. It's the undercurrent of this is happening throughout all of these experiences, but it's very strong here. And at this point in the OBE, I literally need to step off. I go outside naked in the middle of the night. It's like 4 a.m. and I'm just needing to integrate these waves of feeling and emotion and information. It's like when you're told something that really somehow shatters your illusion, your I'm stunned by it. I'm standing here against a wall. I can't move, and I don't want to move. I just want. I want to see. I want to integrate. It's a lot, but it's not unpleasant. Things are being worked through. I'm coming into a fuller understanding, but at this point, it's so much I literally can't move, and I'm here for quite a while. And then all of a sudden I realize it's starting to get light out and people are starting to come around, and I'm unclothed, and so I run back toward the little apartment, and many people see me, and I pass this one space where there's like these 4 or 5 bike riders coming along at me, and it's like I scared them or something. They all got off their bikes and stood aside so I could run by. And I get back to the door of the little apartment, and I go in, and this time I'm greeted by a man. He's shirtless. He's in his undershorts, and late 30s, perhaps. Blonde hair that's oddly a bit more reddish just on top. And I'm getting a lot of data right here before I even start talking, just instantaneously. I know that he's musical. I know he plays the guitar. I feel a very deep, visceral, I mean, just purely visceral adoration and love for this man. He's a gay man. We're roommates. And he's telling me that he's brought somebody home tonight. And I'm asking his name, you know, on this deeper level. I'm getting the information. Don't bring many of the names back with me, but, you know, I ask. And he's just chatting with me for a moment about, when he tells me he brought somebody home for the night, the person that he had brought home sort of peeks around from the hallway down toward where the bedroom was, and, you know, says hello to me, and I see him, and he's about the same age. He's in his late 30s. He has sort of shaggy, light red hair, like a sort of blondish red hair, and just scruff for beard. And I ask him his name, and his name I do remember. His name is David. And then I'm just sort of chatting with my roommate, and we're talking about that we're heading off to California in the morning. And we're talking about meeting. I said, yes, we're still on for that. You know, we need to get some sleep, and we're talking about where I'm going to sleep. And I'm just, you know, saying the couch will probably be fine, and I'm moving over there and feeling the couch, realizing the couch won't be fine. It's sort of wonky. And come up with the floor will be okay. The interesting thing here, though, is and this is something that occurred to me just a couple minutes before I started the go button on this video, that there is a lot of information and data being given to me through this experience, indicating that this man, this gay man who's my roommate here in this life experience, is Eric here in this room. When I got up, and I immediately realized that I didn't meet with Eric, and then I'm like, but I'm adamant. I'm like, I'm never told these things without them actually happening. The counting down from 100 technique that Eric teaches, you know, that came in like, you know, that, and that the same feeling that I felt for this man is in that lifetime, very similar feeling, you know, to what I feel for Eric in this one, and more the song that I heard at the very beginning, more than a feeling. There's a line in it, you know, and this is the line I actually remembered the song by. I had to type this line in to find out what the real name of the song was, but there's a line in it that says, I see my Marianne walking away. And that's exactly what happened the night before when I met Eric. He said, I'm going to see you tomorrow, right? I nodded, and I said, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. And he walks off, and as he walks off, I'm watching him walk away. So it very well could, you know, there's data there that does say that, you know, the Marianne in the song is Eric. I see my Eric walking away. And there's also a particular some lines in this song that is, well, I'm going to post the song down below so you can say it's just how people come and go, you know, and I'm seeing these people come and go from all of these previous lifetimes. And I'm going to skip over to something new now, because, you know, the particular energetic of the particular people I came across in this experience, the husband that I had delivered twins with, you know, it wasn't a deep love with this one. It was, what's the word? He was sweet. There was feeling, but there wasn't, you know, that deep sense of love and connection, you know, that you feel with certain people. And then Hans, the middle one. Again, there was something in here That was all, and this could be a total misinterpretation, but was along the line of, a person that was, hard to be loyal. He couldn't be loyal very well. And then just the absolute deep, visceral connection, that feeling of adoration and love for the roommate who I met last. I mean, that congregate of energy all together represents me in this lifetime perfectly, perfectly, in so many ways. I mean, it's like I was shown particular, just the lessons, those life experiences, those feelings of sensation, of friendship and love on, different levels that, really came together to show me quite clearly who and why, I am choosing the experiences here in this lifetime that I am. Just fascinating. This one affected me so deeply. Viscerally feel it through me. Even right now, this one's going to be lasting, I can tell.